Welcome to Chapter 6, the Worksheet.
Chapter 6, Essential Outcomes. By the end of the chapter, you should be able to prepare a worksheet for a service business by identifying accounting concepts and practices related to the preparation of a worksheet. 2. Be able to prepare a heading and a trial balance for the worksheet. Calculate and plan adjustments for supplies and prepaid insurance. Complete the balance sheet and income statement sections of a worksheet. Be able to identify procedures for finding and correcting errors in accounting records. And connect key terms in the chapter with application.
(6-2) Accounting Terminology. Before starting this PowerPoint, please open your accounting book to pages A, B, and C in Chapter 6. You will see that these pages have plastic pages. If you flip the pages, for each page, it will show you step by step how to do and complete your worksheet. Now, looking at some adjustments. Adjustments are changes that are recorded on a worksheet to update the general ledger accounts at the end of a fiscal period. The adjustment column on the worksheet has a debit and a credit column that is used to record the amount expired, or what we say used up, during the fiscal period. There are two adjusting entries for this chapter. Your supplies account in the general ledger has a balance with an amount of supplies that you purchased at the start of the fiscal period or during the fiscal period. Prepaid insurance account in your general ledger has the balance of the amount of insurance that you bought during the fiscal period. For example, you have purchased insurance for 4 months. That amount in your insurance account is still on your books whether or not you have used up that portion or have spent that portion. The supplies account and the prepaid insurance account should have balances that are recorded on the trial balance of the worksheet in the asset section. These two balances do not represent the actual amount of supplies and insurance on hand at the end of the fiscal period. Remember, as I stated earlier, we purchase supplies and we purchase prepaid insurance, but as the period goes on, we actually use up portions of these amounts that are in these accounts. So we have to make an adjustment to these two accounts in order to follow the matching principle. What is the matching principle? The matching principle states expenses that are incurred to earn revenue must be reported in the same fiscal period as the revenue is earned and reported. Supplies expense is the amount that is determined after a physical inventory of supplies has been taken. Insurance expense is the amount that is determined by calculating the amount of insurance used up or expired for the period. On the trial balance section of a worksheet, these two expense accounts, supplies and insurance, will have a zero balance. It is now time to learn how to determine our adjustments. We will start with our supplies account. We will go to our supplies account balance on the trial balance and then subtract the supplies on hand. The supplies on hand, it will be given to you in the book, in the instructions. The difference between the two will be the supplies used during the period. For example, we go to the trial balance, and underneath the supplies account, we have a balance of $1,025. In the instructions in the book, it told us that the supplies on hand was $310. So we take $310, we subtract it from the $1,025, and we will define our $715. So this is the amount, $715, that is used up during the period. So now we need to make a journal entry. Our journal entry will be to debit supplies expense and credit supplies. The second account that needs adjusting is our prepaid insurance account. We will take our prepaid insurance balance on their trial balance. We will subtract the insurance coverage not used to determine how much insurance coverage has been used or expired during the period. In this case, our prepaid insurance account on the trial balance has $1,200. The unused portion is $1,100. So the difference between the two is the $100. So the amount that has been used up or needs adjustment is $100. Our journal entry. Insurance expense will be debited for $100. Prepaid insurance will be credited for $100. Supplies adjustments on the worksheet. So when we go to record our adjustment on the worksheet, we are going to first look at our T account. Before our adjustment, the supplies account had an August 31st balance of $1,025. Supplies expense had $0. After our adjustment, our supplies expense account should show $715. And our supplies account after the adjustment should show a new balance of $310. So the first thing we will do is write the debit amount of expired or used supplies. Secondly, we will write the credit amount of expired or used supplies. Both of these will appear in columns 3 and 4, which is our adjustment columns on the worksheet. The last step we will do is to record in parentheses a small a. Adjusting our prepaid insurance account on the worksheet. Before the adjustment, prepaid insurance had a balance of $1,200. Insurance expense had a balance of $0. When we look at after the adjustment, insurance expense should have a debit balance of $100, and our prepaid insurance should have a new balance of $1,100. The first step is to write the amount expired or used insurance in our debit column underneath the adjustments. Then we record our credit, expired or used insurance. The last step would be to put in parentheses the letter B. The letter A and the letter B in parentheses means that they match. In other words, they go together. A with A, B with B. Proving the adjustment columns of a worksheet. We will, step 1, rule a single line over our adjustment columns 3 and 4. We will add both the adjustment debit and credit columns and write each column's total across from our trial balance totals. We will rule double lines if debits equal credits. If debits do not equal credits, you need to go and find the error. In summary, the adjustments made in the adjustment columns of the worksheet are to determine the amount of supplies and prepaid insurance on hand at the end of the fiscal period. And second, to determine the amount of supplies and prepaid insurance that has expired or been used up during a fiscal period. Congratulations, you have just finished part 2. Please open your accounting book to page 161 for directions, and then make sure you also have available pages A, B, C in your chapter 6 book, chapter 6 in your accounting book. You will need working papers 121. This is the same working paper that you use for 6-1. Please complete this assignment. If you need assistance, please let me know. Congratulations, you have just finished part 2. Before moving on, please make sure I have reviewed your work.